Welcome to the Offshore Club's fun-filled, fact-filled, fast-paced, blockbuster podcast, Coffee with Carib Carter, coming to you exclusively from where the sun never sets on the good life at a great price. And now, fill up your favorite coffee mug and join your expert and your guide, Carib Carter Clues.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Carib Carter Clues, and welcome to Coffee with Carib Carter. Yeah. I like that. Good to the last drop. Wow. Big show today, number 89. And we are going to do something we have never, ever done before. We've done a lot of things, haven't we? So you're saying, what next? Okay. What we're going to do, we've never done before, is I've got a twofer interview for you today. Okay. Not just one as usual, but two Carib Carter interviews, both of which I guarantee you're going to love. Okay. The first is with a gentleman that we have talked with before, a gentleman named Dusty Tubbs. Some of you, it's ringing a bell. Okay. Remember Dusty and his wife, Caroline, lived down there in Panama. The interview today is actually in Dominican Republic, where he and his wife are right now. They're going to explain that to you in the upcoming interview. You're going to like this interview because he's a very smart man. He's a great guy. And I guarantee you're going to learn a lot that you're going to like. And let me put it this way. By the time he's done, you're going to say, geez, I don't know which place I want to live more, Panama or Dominican Republic. But I would say choose one and do it. I can always tell you, let's do this thing, okay? The other interview is with Leslie Lawrence. I know you know her because she has her own show on Offshore channel, Offshore.club. Leslie at large from Nicaragua. And she is going to tell us about an opportunity. Let me get my grammar right here, huh? An opportunity that I think you're going to love, okay? That you are going to love. A chance to see Nicaragua, as very few people have seen it, and enjoy her company at the same time, which is always a treat. Those of you who watch Leslie at large every week at Offshore.club know that being in her company is always just a distinct pleasure. So we got that interview, two interviews. First, the interview with Dusty Tubbs, super guy, and then with Leslie, wonderful person, wonderful, delightful person. It's coming up. We have a $1,000 listing Caribbean in Mexico. Okay, specifically in Acapulco. Man, when I was a kid, I would have died to go to Acapulco. Now you can own your own place there for next to nothing. Okay, as an investment property, rental, vacation home, second home, full-time home. I think some of you might say, hey, I don't know right now, I want to live there. So $1,000 listing Caribbean, we're going down to Acapulco, Mexico. Okay, and it is gorgeous. And the condo we're going to look at is also gorgeous. So that's coming up. We're going to finish up with a Carib Carter Motivation Minute that also has a unique twist because it's a negative motivation minute. You say, what the heck is that? You're going to see, okay? You're going to see a negative motivation minute because I'm always straightforward and honest with you. And then I got something, I don't want to share something with you, but it has a positive side to it as well, okay? So we're going to look at that. But first, very briefly, I want to make this brief. I get, this past couple of weeks, I've gotten just a flood of emails, even text messages saying, Carter, we know you worked over 40 years at the highest levels in Washington politics. What the heck is going to happen in this upcoming election? So let me take just a minute now to tell you what I think. Okay, I'm not Nostradamus. I could be wrong, but here's what I think. I think you're going to see. I think the next 10 days, 7, 8, 9, whatever, between now and the election, expect anything. You're going to hear things that are just totally bogus, totally off the wall. The media is going to media in America. The media now is a tool of government. Okay, the Biden regime, it's a tool, and they are going to come up with every story they can to get you to vote Democrat. Now, if you are a Democrat and you want to vote Democrat, Merry Christmas. You must be thrilled with what's happening in America now. You love the 16% inflation. You love the factory saying they're going to start massive layoffs. And so you're happy as a lark, so get to the poll and vote Democrat. That's fine. You know, it's no skin off my teeth. I've already got my escape route, plan B, in place. I own 2 homes in Honduras. So if we continue with this catastrophe up here with crime skyrocketing, the confidence level of the American people, never worse, never worse. I got somewhere to go. And I hope a lot of you get your plan B in place too. But to the election. All right. Here's what I think is going to happen, barring just total disruption of the election, which could happen. The next anything can happen, and probably will over the next couple of days. Okay, so just brace yourself. Close your ears to a lot of the propaganda they're going to be throwing at you to over the next couple of days. But the I think you're going to see a pickup, 265 in the House. I think you're going to finish 52 to 53 in the Senate. Okay, 265 Republicans are going to be in the House by the time this is done, and 52 to 53 Republicans. Okay, and I need to give you some caveats. All right, first of all, there are 2 things to watch for to show you whether this election is going to be totally, absolutely undermined. And if you say, oh, Carter's an election denier, well, let's see now. According to the Pew Research, only 20% of the American people now have confidence in free and fair elections in the U.S. Might be a reason for that. All right, so here's what to watch for. I call it, there are 2 things that you need to watch for. When you start hearing them happening, you'll know Carter, we will not, the Republicans will not get the Senate, and the House may not even switch over if you hear these 2 things happening. One is the 5% factor. There are a lot of states now, a lot of districts, where if the Republican doesn't win by more than 5%, even if he wins by 4% or 3% or 2% legitimately, he will not win the election. I'm telling you, that's just the way it is. Okay. I call that the 5% factor. So look, watch the polls coming in. If you see in some of these districts, swing districts, if you hear it's 5% or less, the Republican is winning, he ain't winning. He or she ain't winning. Okay. It's just the way, I'm sorry. That's the way it is. That's why the 20% figure I just gave you. Those are not election deniers. Those are American people who have been shocked by what's happened recently. The other is what I call the long count. The long count. When you hear that the results have not been counted by the end of election day, even if it's late into the night, think of what Stalin said. It's not the votes that counts, it's who counts the votes. Okay? Keep in mind, in Pennsylvania in 2020, where I am right now, at 2 a.m, Donald Trump was 662,000 votes ahead. Then they announced that, well, of course, we're not going to be able to complete the elections for count for a couple of days, and he lost the election on absentee ballots coming in. Okay. Absentee ballots, according to Pennsylvania law, all ballots had to have signature verification and dates. The governor and secretary of state of Pennsylvania said, oh, we decided not to enforce that law. 3 days later, we know what happened. So again, if you don't believe any of that, glory, hallelujah for you. You're happy as a lark. You're in nirvana. You're in Joe Biden's America. You love the $5 gas prices. You know, the groceries, the empty grocery shelves, not being, the cost of Thanksgiving up 23% this year. Come on, stop it. But so what's happening now in Pennsylvania? The Secretary of State just announced, same Secretary of State who did the long count in 2020 has told the people of Pennsylvania, oh, it always takes a long time to count the vote. Excuse me, Brazil just had a vote. They have over 200 million people. The results were in at 8 o'clock that night. And in the United States, the most advanced country in the world, it's going to take a long time to count the votes. Yeah, the long count. Watch for it, folks. By the way, the Supreme Court 2 weeks ago ruled that she could not do that. And she told the Supreme Court, watch us. So, barring any election irregularities, as we call them, you're going to see a 265 Republican House and a 53 seat majority in the Senate. If you see the long count, or if the 5% factor kicks in too many times, don't count on it all. Okay, so there you go. So there, I always level with you. Oh, I give it to you straight from the shoulder and straight from the heart. And I'm just telling you, I've been in this election business a long time. I remember years ago, I was working in a special election in Georgia. It was 1977. And I was with the this is terrible, but it is funny, top executive with the Republican Party. We're driving through Atlanta. He looks over, there's a church over to the right, and he points to the graveyard and says, I voted that graveyard many a time. So I'm not saying anybody has cornered the market on election corruption. I'm just telling you how it is. Okay, I've been there, haven't done that because I never participated in any chicanery. But there you go. There you go. And now let's have some fun. Let's do our interviews and go down to Mexico. And let's start out with my friend, Dusty Tubbs. Now, folks, I promised you a great interview with a gentleman of whom I'm very fond, Dusty Tubbs. Dusty is the expat extraordinaire. He and his wife have lived in Panama for 10 years. So he's going to update us on that. Remember, we had him on before, and he's going to update us on that. And plus, he also is on the verge of getting citizenship in Dominican Republic. I have no idea why. I'm going to learn why at the same time you do. So, Dusty, welcome to Coffee with Carib Carter. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous, Carib. How are you doing? Freezing, probably.
It's a little chilly. I have my sweatshirt on. It's a little chilly up here. It's going to get chillier, but you look great. You look great, just like last time. Fantastic. Fantastic. I know you had a little bit of a health problem, but you obviously have recovered because you look good.
Doing very well, thank God. It's been quite a journey, but that's one of the things I promised Carolyn 10 years ago when we left the States is I'd give her an adventure every day, and we've had plenty of those.
You have certainly done it. All right, so right now, as I said, you've lived 10 years in Panama, and we're going to talk about Panama and your lifestyle, update on your lifestyle there. But tell us now why we're interviewing you in Dominican Republic, which I also love.
Well, we came here last week. The director of naturalization called for us over a month ago, but unfortunately, as you pointed out, I was having some health issues. So because I was in the hospital in Florida, I couldn't make it in. Got out of the hospital, made it here to the Dominican Republic. And yesterday we had our final naturalization exam, and Carolyn and I both passed that. So now we wait for the president to sign the proclamation, and we take our oath, and we are Dominican citizens.
Congratulations. That is just fantastic. I got to tell you, parenthetically, Dusty, you're going to get a kick out of this. We did, every week we feature a home somewhere in Central or South America and recommend people take a look at it to invest or to buy it to live in, right? So I did one on Dominican Republic about 3 months ago, and I got an email from a Dominican, right? One of the people live there, Fernando Rodriguez, whatever it was, saying, please do not feature any more homes in Dominican Republic on Coffee with Carib Carter. We're happy. We don't need any more people here. So it was...
Yeah. It's kind of like Portugal right now. Everybody keeps writing about how the Algarve in Portugal has become the California of Portugal, Southern California of Portugal. Everybody going over there. And the Portuguese are finally saying, stop. We don't want any more of you gringos. Stay away. We don't want any more Californians. So I can understand what he is saying too. But one of the things we love about being in the Dominican Republic First of all, let me go back to our very first visit here in Santo Domingo. Our very first time here, Carolyn and I were walking around. She loved it. She felt at ease here. She felt comfortable here. She felt like the people were welcoming here. She really loved it. She loves the temperature. She loves the beautiful Caribbean seas. I mean, it was fantastic. And over the years, as we keep coming back and during the process of getting our citizenship, I found out that the Dominicans have a great respect for former military. I love that they love former military. Of course, as you know, I retired after 30 plus years from the Navy.
Yeah.
So everything that we know about the DR we've found very welcoming, very enjoyable. And the process, for the most part, if you have a good attorney, the process is fairly straightforward on getting both residency and citizenship. So everything combined, even the day as we were walking over for coffee, I saw a Dominican wearing a Vietnam veteran hat. And I asked him, do you speak English? I asked him in English, not in Spanish. Right. And he says, yes, I do. I said, you serve in the military? And he said, I did. So we talked. He was a New Yorker, a Dominican New Yorker. We're New Jersey, New York, a lot of Dominicans. He lived 50 years up in the United States, retired, moved back to the DR. And I said, that's exactly what I've done. I've retired and I'm moving back to the DR. He laughed. He says, it's a great place. And it is. They respect your elders. Family is a very, very, family is a very important thing to them. Church is important. And that's one of the things I like about Panama and the DR. You can say God and not get arrested. You can put up Christmas trees and not offend somebody. So we love it. It's fabulous.
It's fantastic. Now, I think you're in Santo Domingo, right? Right, you're in Santo Domingo. Yeah, and I think the baseball stadium there is named after Roberto Clemente. Am I right? Wasn't he Dominican? There's still today, there's a lot of Dominicans that play in the United States. Oh, yeah.
Baseball is the number one sport here in the DR. Yeah,
fantastic.
I mean, you fly in and you look down and all you see are groups, one group after another group of baseball field. I think we counted something like 14 baseball fields on one trip when we were landing.
I love it. I love it. So, folks, if you enjoyed the national pastime and you're fed up with going to baseball parks in the U.S. where they have BLM signs and desecrate the American flag, go to the Dominican Republic or Panama, and I can assure you they will not do that. You'll just see really good baseball, great baseball. I think Orlando Cepeda was Dominican. I'm not sure. Now, right now, you and I are I'm a little older than you. But a lot of the Carib Carter viewers right now are saying, where does he come up with these names? they were great baseball players. Great. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
American Major League Baseball is full of all-stars that come from the Dominican Republic. And the American League Baseball, if you go on their website, they actually have a foreign branch of MBL that looks, and we've had a number of players from Panama too. But no one comes close to the number of players as the DR has because it's their passion here. They love it.
It's a national pastime. That's great. So if you had to give us one example of a difference between, because you're the expert. I mean, you've lived in Panama 10 years. You've spent a lot of time in Dominican. What is one example of the difference between the two countries, difference in lifestyle?
I would say the acceptance of the American people. Everybody thinks that because of our long history in Panama, that Panama is probably the friendliest country to the United States. But I would take a personal disagreement with that. Matter of fact, Panama is just now starting a new holiday in December that will commemorate the heroes in Panama from when the United States invaded Panama, bombed Panama, and killed innocent Panamanians. That's how they see it. So they now have, I'm sorry, Carter.
When was that when we invaded and took Noriega?
Noriega. Yeah.
That was what it was.
So
yeah.
we liberated the country from Noriega, and now they're saying that we attacked and bombed Panama. So they're making another holiday. January 9th is a holiday celebrating the heroes that died, which didn't really happen many years ago when the kids tried to break into the canal zone to raise the Panama flag. And they're now saying that like 9 people died in that. And nobody died during that incident, but there were other skirmishes after that. But they've turned that into a national anti-American holiday too. So when you look at the difference, there are right now probably 4 million Dominicans living in the United States. Why? Right. They love the United States. They love going up there. They love making a nice income like you and I have done in our younger years, and then they retire and they come back here to the DR. Everything you know and love in the United States, Carter, you can get here in the DR, because the Dominicans come back from New York and New Jersey and they have something that they love, be it fast food, be it sneakers, be it anything, and they import it down here. So you walk around and you see KFC, you see Burger King, you see Baskin Robbins. You go in a store and you find American products. You can even find the high-end Gucci and all those name brands if you really want to spend thousands of dollars for something. I don't, but everything that you want is available here somewhere.
In the Dominican Republic. How about the cost of living? How much would I need to be able to just live comfortably down there? Not like a millionaire, just live a nice lifestyle.
I haven't evaluated that because we haven't really stayed in one spot long enough, but I'm told that for $2,000 or in a big area like Santo Domingo for $2,500, you can live very, very well. So it's
excellent.
Yeah. The cost comes for tourism is you pay a tax fee, and then you pay what they call, there's a law. Honey, give me a receipt, please. Any receipt? There's a law that charges 10% to a bill. And I'm trying to get a receipt from my wife here. No, not a cat. A receipt. No, that's a cat. That's this thing. There we go. So you have the ITBS, which is tax, 18%, and then percent lay, which is percent of the law, which is 10%. So you're getting 28% added on to your bill if you eat out or do anything as a tourist. You pay 28% more. The 10% is your service charge. So regardless of where you go, what you do, you're charged 10%. So that's the tip.
That's the
you
tip.
Can leave more if you have a service, but you don't have to. So, but that's all included in the bill.
So that's fine.
So it makes, eating out is more expensive. If you eat at home, it's very affordable here. And what we love, one of our favorite stores, PriceSmart, which is Costco in the United States, they have 4 PriceSmarts here in the Santo Domingo area. 2 of them we've been to. The other 2 are farther outliers. But again, whether it's food, whether it's furniture, whether it's clothing, whether it's cars, everything in the world that you like and want, you can get here.
Wow. It's excellent. I think, and I wonder how much it is to go to a ball game. And I mean, these are first-rate ball players. I wonder, You know, to go to the I said Memorial, I'm from Baltimore. To go to the ballpark in Baltimore, Camden Yards now, to get a ticket where you are standing up through the entire game. I'm not making this up. You stand up. You can't sit down because you're like that. $15. The hell pays that? There's nowhere in the world I go to pay $15 to stand up for 2 hours. And I think down there you can probably still get into the ball game like you could when I was a kid for next to nothing. You think?
I haven't researched that yet because we haven't been here during the ball season. Of course, they're very much focused now on the World Series. Even though it's not played here, it's very important to them. So I will have to research that and get back to you, Carter, because it's something
time.
that I'm sure we will be doing in the future. Yeah.
Now, how long are you going to stay? How much longer are you going to stay in Dominican Republic? You and your wife. It's Catherine, right?
Carolyn.
Carolyn, sorry.
Carolyn. That's okay.
How much longer
we are stay? We're scheduled to be here for almost 2 more weeks. We may extend that because what we don't know right now is when we are going to be called in for the oath. So our lawyer said that could be any time in the next month. My comment to her is I think the president here, President Abinadar, is going to want to do that before Christmas. So he gets all these new citizens, makes everybody happy. It's a nice family Christmas story. Look at all these people that have become citizens. So I think it's going to happen before Christmas, but it may not. We don't know. It's at the will of the government pretty much of when we get sworn in.
Pretty fantastic. Now, while you're down there,
But for the readers of our newsletter, I will be posting that in our newsletter as soon as we know.
There's the newsletter right there, folks. I showed it that every week, right? That's what I just got.
I'm losing you a little bit, Carter.
What'd you say?
I'm losing you a little bit. You just cut out on me.
I cut out. I was just showing everybody your newsletter that I just got today. It's a great news, folks.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah.
Now, how can people subscribe? It is an excellent newsletter, Dusty. Excellent.
Thank you very much.
There we go.
Let me try.
We're breaking up a little here now, but folks, you just saw Gary just put up.
Okay, I was going to get a link that I can send that Gary.
Yeah, Gary.
Okay,
Gary
perfect.
just put
Thank
up,
you. So
yeah,
and it's free.
Excellent. It's free. You can't beat that price.
It's a free newsletter, comes out every week. So
you and Carolyn do a great job. Now, very quickly, and
thank you very much.
Up your whole afternoon, but in Panama, how does the cost of living compare with Panama? How much can a person live, as I just said earlier, a nice life, very pleasant in Panama, as opposed to Dominican Republic?
I would say Panama would be less expensive. It is for us because of the jubilado discounts, the discounts that are given to retirees. We went there initially on a jubilado visa, which was a great way. You get it by age if you have a cedula in Panama, or you get it by the visa program, and you can be any age. You can be 35 and have a jubilado discount. But that gives us discounts on water and electricity and hotel rooms. And you go to a restaurant and you get a discount. You get discounts on everything.
Excellent.
So we live relatively inexpensive in Panama. Plus, we don't live in the city. We live in the interior. So you can live very comfortably outside of an American community for $2,000 a month. $2,500 is kind of pushing it. One of the things we try to tell people, if you move down there, they go, we can't afford it. Well, yeah, you can if you got a $400,000 house you sell it, you invest that through a local private investment group. You get 9% interest. So you get $3,000 a month, $36,000 a year. You can more than comfortably live off of that. So
Absolutely.
if it only takes you $2,000 a year, what are you going to do with the other $1,000? If it costs you $20, what are you going to do with the other $500? So it's really a very economical country to live in with jubilado discounts. The drawback when we went there is we were told we couldn't work and we couldn't apply for citizenship, which was fine because Panama states that if you apply for citizenship, you're supposed to surrender all your other passports. And part of a plan B is to get a second passport, not to lose the first one and only have one passport. So plan Bs are to get you 2 passports, not 1.
Yeah.
So we didn't like that, which is what led to us coming to the Dominican Republic.
Wow. Wow.
Because we can have 2 passports here and no problem.
That's excellent. Well, this has been.
They love Americans.
This has been great. This has been, once again, extremely informative. We are glad you're doing great. We're glad you're in both countries now, so we can visit with you every once in a while to tell us about both. And it's good to see you. It is good to see you, Dusty.
Good to be with you. It's a pleasure. And as COVID restrictions keep dropping, we're going to be traveling more again. So we'll be able to talk to you about Mexico and Belize and other countries in the Caribbean and Latin America. So we might even make a trip up to your second country there, Honduras.
Honduras. Wonderful. Thank you for remembering. Well, that'll be good to see you. Rachel and I are going down this winter at some point. Thank you very much, Dusty. Thanks for joining us, and we'll look forward to talking again. Thank you.
Pleasure to be here. Welcome back anytime. Thanks, Carter.
Thank you. Thank you. True gentleman. Absolute true gentleman. You remember him last time. It's great to see him again. Sorry I had that health glitch, which was a little bit serious, but you can tell he's recovered, so he's doing good. So, thank the Lord. And we'll have Dusty on every couple months, okay, just to give us an update, because he knows his stuff and he's very informative and he's wonderful to talk to. So we'll do that. Now, I promised you that you're getting a double treat today, not just one, but two interviews. And so we are going to go straight into the other one. Now, let me remind you what I told you. This second interview I did earlier this week with Leslie Lawrence. Leslie Lawrence, who's with Graham Pacifica, the Caribbean's #1 residential resort community down there in Nicaragua. I'm bullish on Nicaragua. I love it. And she does, I interviewed her for her own show, which I'm sure some of you saw, but we have a lot of people that view Coffee with Carib Carter that don't sometimes pick up the other shows on the Offshore.club, which you should. Just go offshore.club and click on any of them. We got 5 shows a week. So Leslie at Large, I did an interview with her. There's Leslie. Wonderful person. And she told us about a Discover Nicaragua tour, Nicaragua Discovery Tour. Let me get it right. They have coming up that I think you want to sign up for, okay? Because I think it's like 7 days, and they give you the entire lay of the land. And once you get that lay of the land, I think you're going to want to own some of that land. All right. So Gary, let's roll. For those who missed it earlier this week, let's roll this interview with Leslie, because I think it as usual, she's terrific. Leslie, come on in and tell us all about it. How are you?
I am great. How are you, Carter?
I am good. Thank you. I am good. Yes. I'm up here in chilly York.
Nicaragua.
What'd you say?
I said, I'm back in Nicaragua. I'm still in my tank tops.
It's fantastic. And I'm here in cold York in my sweatshirt. So life is not fair. So what do you have coming up that we can let our people be some of the very, very first to know about? It's fantastic.
Well, it is. It's exciting. We've got I can't believe we're in fourth quarter. It's October. Things are moving quickly. I'm headed back to Belize in a few weeks, so that'll probably be my last trip to Belize for the year. But we have been in talks and planning our discovery tours for the first of next year. So guess what? January 7th through the 14th of 2023, we will be having a Nicaragua discovery tour. So what does that mean?
Yes, what does I was just going to ask, what does that mean? A Nicaragua discovery tour?
Yes, it's a fun time, let me tell you. Let me just kind of paint the picture. We can talk about all the fun, great things we're going to do. But basically, this time it will be 7 nights of accommodations, transportation, in country, meals, snacks, cultural activities, unlimited access to true international experts to really dive into, all your questions about Nicaragua. Yeah, all of that fun activity. So you basically fly into Managua. And of course, I've given you a lot of tips and tricks what to do to get into Managua, but we can I'll highlight just a few to remind people if we have new people listening in or watching. So coming into Managua, the flights, the best way right now, of course, this will be in January. So by then we should have some more of these airlines opened up. Right now, like I said, Avianca has been the tried and true airline.
All right.
If you're coming from the US or even from Canada, just get to Miami. If you can get to Miami, then from there, it's just easier to book a very quick direct flight, a little over 2 hours from Miami to Managua on Avianca. Now, keep an eye.
And it was cheap. And it was cheap, if I recall.
It's really been quite reasonable. I think they're starting to come down in price a little bit because they know these other airlines are about to start coming back, so competition is coming, which is good for everyone. American Airlines is slated to come back the end of November. I think Spirit Airlines out of Fort Lauderdale is the 1st of December. Then we have talks. There's rumors now that Delta and United are in talks also maybe for first of the year. So probably by January, you're going to have a couple more options, which is great for everyone. But once you land, come from Miami to Managua, my best advice, and I did it when I flew in just a few days ago, is use the VIP service when you land in Managua. You'll come off the plane. You'll let them check your, whatever all the COVID, whatever they have to do now. You walk through that, you come down these stairs, and you're going to see someone standing there with a VIP sign. Now, it's going to have someone else's name on it, but guess what? That's okay. You can just walk up to them and say, hey, I want to do VIP. And then you're going to give them your passport. It's simple. Give them your passport, your baggage, tickets, claim checks, and your $10 tourist visa fee, and the form that you have filled out for immigrations. They take all of that and they go stand in line for immigration. They clear you. They get your tourist visa stamp. They go to baggage claim and wait and get your bags. And guess what you're doing during all of this going on that you're not having to deal with? They escort you to a little private area. You run your carry-ons through the, scanner or whatever. You walk up these stairs. You sit down in a lovely room. You have a nice bathroom. You have a gentleman come over and offer you a drink. They bring you some peanuts. Then they bring you a little sandwich and chips if it's the right time of day. And you sit there just chilling out, maybe messaging, letting people know you've arrived safely. And then they come in and they say, ask you if you're going to pay with cash or credit card, because it is a fee for the VIP, but it's like $34.50. I highly recommend it for the ease, especially if you're maybe not fluent in Spanish or get a little anxious coming to a foreign country for the first time. It just takes all of that out of the equation. And then they come get you and say, we're ready for you, Miss Lawrence. And they walk you through you don't pass by where all the people are, doing their bags and crowded at the end of the airport. No, they walk you out a very quiet, really nice other side door. And your bags are just waiting there on the curb for your driver to pick you up. It's amazing.
Quick question. You said, let me back up a second. You said they'll have a sign that says VIP, but it'll have someone else's name. What does that mean?
Well, yeah, because other people have signed up in advance. But guess what? You don't you don't have to sign up in advance. You can just walk over there and do it on the spot. Because I would always see it when I would fly in, and I would think, man, how are you signing up for this thing? And I didn't know. And then somebody goes, no, you don't have to sign up in advance. Just walk over there and tell them that you want to do it.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So it may say Jose Rodriguez, but it's good enough for Leslie Lawrence and Carter Clues. I like it. I like that.
It works.
Excellent. Good. All right.
Yeah. So, and guess what? Then we're going to, everything, once you get there, everything's going to be taken care of. So you're going to be picked up. Let me get over where I can look at my cheat notes so I don't get this wrong. But when
Now,
you arrive,
which one of your sons is that in the background yelling to you?
you hear that, don't you? I was hoping maybe you didn't. That would be my most recent, my very vocal Lucky. And what I'm thinking has happened, I'm just guessing. I'm thinking either he's hearing me now, or there was a neighbor dog that came around to the other side. And he's obviously very protective of his home, which I appreciate. But there are some times that I just wish I could go, okay, Lucky, like zip it. And this would be one of those times.
We know you love your 3 dog children, so we're fine with it. It is not a problem. All right. Okay. So now went through VIP. I've come down for the Nicaragua Discovery Tour for 7 days. And how do I get to Grand Pacifica now?
Well, here's what we're going to do. Hold off. We're not going there quite yet. We're going to get there. So you're going to arrive on Saturday into Managua. Then we're going to transport you to the Hyatt Place Hotel. And that's the one that I love to stay at. It's over by the Galleria. It's a great area. And it's lovely. The customer service there is wonderful. So we're going to transport you there. You're going to get all settled in. And then we're going to have a dinner that night together, a group dinner. You'll stay overnight at the Hyatt Place. And then Sunday morning, they have a great, like a huge breakfast in the mornings at the Hyatt Place. Like, I mean, excellent. Amazing spread for you to go through. So yeah, I highly recommend it. So we'll do that as a group. We'll have kind of some welcome remarks, talk about the country, kind of, what to expect, that kind of thing. And then we're going to let you kind of experience some of the things in Managua. So people, are always curious what's available, what's around shopping wise. You're right there across from the Galleria's Mall. You're going to see what shopping experiences would be like in the country. We're going to take you on a tour like the medical facilities so you can see one of the hospitals. Vivian Palis is one of the, really nice hospitals. People want to kind of know what to expect since it's a different country. So we're going to go to all those things. Like Sensa is what we would consider like a Home Depot. It's very similar. So we're just going to take you around Managua to some different areas so you can really get a feel for, what is available here in the country.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes. Then of course we love to eat. So we're going to have lunch together, and then we're going to head to Grand Pacifica to get settled in here on the property.
So first day and first night, we're in Managua, the gorgeous hotel, and getting to see what Managua is all about. Excellent.
Exactly.
All right. Now we're on the way.
Then we're on the way. Then we get settled in Grand Pacifica, let everybody kind of relax, unpack, unwind, and then we'll have cocktails at sunset, because I have to say these are some of the most beautiful sunsets you will ever experience it. And at that time of year in January, it is a wonderful time to come. We're on the tail end of rainy season here. You can see today we actually have sunshine, so that was wonderful. It has been a very rainy season, but January is one of my favorite times of year here, so you'll definitely want to come and experience that. We'll have, dinner at Sea Salt under the stars. It'll be fabulous. So that is Sunday. And then on to Magnificent Monday. We'll all get together and have breakfast at Sea Salt. Then we'll really take a tour of Grand Pacifica, all the different communities that we have to offer here, so you can really experience and get a feel for, which of those communities would be a right fit for you.
Nice.
And about the food again, we're going to have lunch again. We like to eat. We're going to have a nice lunch together, have some different options, and then you'll really have some time just to relax and have some free time. Whether you like golf or massages or horseback riding, whatever it is, you can experience some of the amenities here at Grand Pacifica.
Now, are we a Sunday now?
We are on Monday.
Oh, we're on Monday.
Magnificent
I'm sorry, I lost a day here. Now,
Yeah.
on that Monday, I can actually go out onto the golf course and play around the golf, or I can go
Yeah.
horseback riding.
Whatever you like. You can take surfing lessons. You can just walk the
Incredible.
beach, read a book. You can hang out at the
Incredible.
pool. Again, whatever if you've never played frisbee golf, you can try that. We have grass tennis court. You can play tennis. We have a little soccer field. So there are a lot of things that you can do.
Good. All right.
Okay.
All right.
And then, of course, we're going to meet back up for those sunsets and dinner and just come together as a group and, be there to answer questions for everyone.
It's fantastic. Now,
Okay.
Is there at the dinner, is there a speaker or anything at the dinner or a group discussion session?
Yeah, so the dinners are there. I mean, most of it's pretty low key. I've been on several of these
Nice.
discovery tours in Belize and in Nicaragua. It's really just a time to get to know everyone.
Right.
Sometimes we'll invite maybe other residents or other people
Oh, good.
that would have some good information to share, but it's really low key and
Good.
it's just a time
Good.
for us to visit and you to ask questions. Usually I come or one of my on-site consultants comes so they can answer questions about what life is like here in Nicaragua and at
Good.
Grand Pacifica. Yeah.
Excellent.
All
Excellent.
right. So we ready for Tuesday?
We're ready for Tuesday. Yes.
Okay. So Tuesday, got to start your day right with the nice breakfast. So we'll do that.
Good.
Then we're going to load up and we're going to go outside the gates of Grand Pacifica. And what I like to say, really go out into some of the local communities and see what it's like,
Nice.
outside the gates and maybe some of the places you would be shopping and going. So we're going to go to Masachapa. Remember, that's the fishing village where you
Yes.
can go get the amazing fresh fish. So we'll go wander around there for a bit, let you see the town, and then that's where we'll have lunch. And then we'll also go to San Rafael. So those are two communities. When you go outside the gate, you kind of drive for a little ways and you come to a split in the road. If you go right, you go to Masachapa, and if you go left, you go to San Rafael. So we'll go kind of experience.
These are real Honduran, real Nicaraguan communities.
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
Yeah, and you can just walk around the towns. Like in San Rafael, they have this huge mercado, and you can just walk around and see all the different things. Of course, tons of just wonderful fresh fruits and vegetables and all of that. And you can just see what the town is like that the locals are living in. And again, San Rafael is where a lot of us go to shop because it's closer than Managua. So we just want you to see what's available close by.
Excellent.
For
I
sure.
love it.
Yeah, so we do that for a little bit, and then guess what? We come back to give you a little bit more free time here at Grand Pacifica, where maybe you played golf on Monday and maybe you want to get a massage on Tuesday, then that's what you can do. You can take your pick.
Fantastic. You know what I like? I like the fact that you leave time for people to do their own thing. It's not like so people don't feel hurted. Okay. Sometimes you go somewhere, it's like, okay, now at 2:00 we're all going to, it's like, oh, wait. But you're letting people enjoy themselves, enjoy the leisure, and get the feel for it.
Right.
Beautiful.
Well,
all right.
We recognize that, yes, it's a discovery tour for them. It's, a trip to explore the possibility of maybe if this country's right, for possible investment or for moving there. But we also recognize they're taking time off work. It's also kind of like a vacation too. So we want to kind of have a happy balance in there for people.
Excellent.
For sure.
I love it.
All right. So moving on to Wednesday. So again, start the day right with breakfast.
Yes.
And then this is a fun one. Leon is about an hour from here.
Oh, nice.
Outside of Leon, there is the Florida Caña rum tour. And I personally have not got to do it yet, and I'm really jealous. So I'm going to go on it this time because I have not got to do it yet. And I've heard great things about it from clients and from residents that have gone. They say it's just a highlight and it's a must do when you come to Nicaragua. I've been to Leon and I've done other things. I just haven't made the time yet to do that. But they're going to get to go tour the factory and do all of that. Lunch is included in the rum factory tour. And like I said, if you know rum or know Nicaragua, you know Florida cognac. It was so fun for me when I was in Miami a couple days. I was at a Cuban restaurant and I looked up at the bar and I got so excited. I saw like a whole row of Florida cognac and I was like, oh, there we go. Nicaragua's represented in Miami.
Yeah. Very, very, very well-known rum. Very well-known rum. Top of the line. And so you got to go tour is there one place called a distillery?
I don't know. It sounds right. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think it's a brewery. That's beer. So maybe distill. Nice.
Maybe.
And you probably get
right.
a little sample. You probably get a little, I would bet. Nice.
Yes. I heard from some clients and one of my consultants that went last time, apparently you do get some samples and maybe even some of the really, really kind of special or more high end, you get to have a little sample
nice.
of it. Yeah.
Good. All right. Good.
Okay. And then after experience that in Leon, then we come back to Grand Pacifica and have dinner again on that Wednesday.
Beautiful.
And we can move along to Thursday. It's already flying by.
The evening, the people get to do whatever they want, right? And go to the restaurant,
absolutely.
bar, whatever. Nice.
Yes, absolutely. You can hang out there. I'm sure if I'm here, Brandon, some of our other, team members that are here, I'm sure they'll show you some of the, local areas at night as well. There's another restaurant right outside the gates. And so some nights, people will come together and join there. Sometimes they have a poker night. So if people are into poker, then they could jump in and participate in one of the poker games. So we're known to have, like I said, we've had karaoke, we've had other fun things, depending on the days of the week.
Very good. Maybe a little Leslie Lawrence karaoke one evening.
Hey, I'm all up for it. Trivia, karaoke, whatever it is, I'd be more than happy to jump in and play host.
Right.
Game nights. I love game nights.
Oh, excellent. And now it's Thursday.
It is Thursday.
The week is
I can't
winding
believe
down,
it.
Unfortunately.
I know it's going way too fast. I'm already sad about it, Carter. Okay, we're going to get up and have breakfast. And then guess what? We are going to check out of Grand Pacifica. It's been a fabulous time here, but there are a few more fun things to explore in Nicaragua before you leave the country. So we're going to check out in the morning and we're going to depart to Masaya. So you're going to get to go see one of the volcanoes, which is awesome.
Nice.
It's an active volcano. It has a little museum. So you can go in, kind of tour through the museum. And it's actually a volcano that you can drive up to. So you're going to thank me for that.
Now,
so you'll get to drive.
Is this the one you did the toboggan down?
No, that's actually in Leon. That's a different one. That one you have to hike to the top. This one you can.
We don't want that. We
don't
want that. No.
Not everybody wants to do that. I recognize that. But this one you're going to get to drive up and park, and then you're going to walk over. And this is the one where you can actually kind of look down into one of the craters. You can see the smoke coming up.
Wow.
And that time. Yeah, I have a really cool picture of myself where I'm kind of like leaning back and you can see the smoke kind of behind me in the crater. It's really cool. So yeah. And you can kind of explore that whole little area there at Masaya. And the museum's really interesting. You learn a lot of great facts when you're walking through the museum and things.
Fantastic.
Yep. So yeah, we do that. And this is actually one of my favorite things to do is the Masaya. And then we go over to an area called Catarina. And that's over in a different area, but there's like a crater lake. And so you're on the overlook of it and it's beautiful. And we'll have lunch overlooking that crater lake. So that'll be wonderful. Then guess what? We go to one of my favorite places. Then we head to Granada.
Oh, I knew we were going to go to Granada. I was waiting. I'm serious. I was waiting for Granada.
You know it. Of course, we're going to Granada. So we'll check in, have some time to get settled in Granada. It'll be right there at the central, park area. And then we'll have a fabulous dinner that night at one of the local places where you can have, I recommend getting the churrasco, with the jalapeno sauce, but I'm sure I get that all the time when I go there, but it's called I'm not probably saying it wrong. It's El Zacuan. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but just ignore me. But I will say, get the churrasco and you will thank me. It's fabulous.
So we're checking into a very nice hotel in Granada,
yes,
right?
Plaza de Colón, which is right there in the Central Park, the Central Square. You'll have views of the beautiful yellow cathedral.
Excellent. I was going to ask that. Good. Excellent. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Good.
I know. And then we're just moving right along. We're already to Friday. How is that possible?
I can't believe
and it's Friday the 13th, which 13 is my lucky number. So I love that it's a Friday the 13th.
That's right. I forgot. Wonderful. Good.
Yes.
Good. We'll finish on your lucky number.
I know. You have a nice breakfast there. So at the Plaza Colón, they have like a little garden area, and you have breakfast out there. It's lovely. And then we get to go and do the Las Isletas. You've heard me talk about the little islands in the lake. So you get to go on one of the boat tours. And guess what usually happens on the boat tour? You're probably going to hear some howler monkeys. You're probably going to go by Monkey Island. You're going to see all types of birds. Oh my goodness. I'm like the crazy person, like snapping pictures of 50,000 birds, and then I get my phone. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what any of these are, but they're beautiful and fun to watch. So you get to do that. And then we go on the chocolate making at there's a chocolate museum there, and you do this little tour. I've done it before. It's really cool. You get to learn a lot, and you get to sample some stuff there, which is
chocolate
fun.
Factory.
Yes.
You're going to the Nicaraguan Willy Wonka. I don't even know what that would be. Raul something or the other. Yeah.
Well, it's just this little hole in the wall, but it's like a chocolate museum, and they, kind of show you how they make chocolate. And you, like I said, you get to sample. They have all these different things. Like there was something that was made with rum with the cacao, and then there was I'm not a coffee drinker, but something you would put in your coffee. So different things. And they did even a body or a facial scrub or something. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. The guy that does the tour is very interactive and entertaining. So I don't want to tell too much because I want it to be a surprise for people that come and do it. So I'm going to stop at that. But there's some really fun videos that come from the chocolate museum tour.
Fantastic. And then we head back to the airport.
Well, not quite yet.
Not yet.
Not yet, Porter.
Good.
We're getting close, but not yet. Then we're going to go back to Managua, and we're going to have dinner at another favorite of mine in Managua. It's called Porterhouse Steaks, and it is fabulous. Then we're going to have one more night stay at the Hyatt before we transport you on Saturday to the airport.
Wow. So everybody, folks, you are really taken care of here. I'm going to say it, folks, you're pampered. You are, am I right? Everybody's pampered. Not rushed, not hustled, pampered.
Yes.
Fantastic. What an incredible 7 days. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I think it's pretty amazing.
It's wonderful.
So I'm going to give you an email for people that have questions about it. Okay.
Yes.
So this is really important. It's events. So EVENTS events at ECIdevelopment.com.
That's it.
That's it.
Events at ECIdevelopment.com.
Yes.
And
they can just put in there that they want more information on the Nicaragua Discovery Tour in January, and we will get the agenda and all the information, answer any questions they have.
Fantastic. Folks, just say, Leslie, tell me more about the Discovery Tour. Gary's already got it up there for you, folks. It can't get simpler than that. This, I got to say it again. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. This is just like paradisical in Nicaragua.
I'm telling you,
fun in the sun.
Amazing time. I can assure them they're going to love it. They're going to experience different parts of the country. They're going to get to see a little taste of, local life as well as resort life here at Grand Pacifica. And then some of the, experiences in the different areas like Grenada and Masai.
and get to know the people who are just as warm and welcoming as anybody can possibly imagine. Am I right?
You're exactly right.
Exactly. All right, there you got it, folks. This Leslie, this is fantastic. Thank you. And I would advise people to get in early because there's got to be some limit. You can't take 1,000 people. So
right, yeah,
get in
space
early,
is
folks.
limited. Space is limited, so that's why I wanted to kind of get this word out there for people so you could kind of have a head start in planning and getting more information. But definitely we'll have some, I'm sure, later in the year, but this will be the first kickoff for January here in Nicaragua, and I'm already excited about it. Can't wait to see who's coming to visit.
And you know what? You're very good at conveying the excitement. It is just, it's perfect. And make sure to send me information so I can do a lot of mailings to people, because I don't want Offshore Club members to miss out. It's excellent. And they got to meet you to top it all off. That's the icing on the cake, which is wonderful. All right. This is great.
Alrighty.
The Nicaragua Discovery Tour, events at ECI Development. Leslie, thank you. Thank you for cluing us in early at the Offshore Club. Excellent. There you go, folks. Fantastic. Don't miss it. I know, you know what? I have a feeling you were as excited as, she's great at conveying excitement. And I have a feeling you were as excited as I was. I'll be there. I'm telling you, I'll be there. So you join me and obviously Leslie. And as I always tell you, let's do this thing. She's just a delightful person. Whenever I interview Leslie, I can't stop laughing because she is just delightful. She is simply delightful. And I know you feel the same way because I get your notes telling me about it at Carib Carter 7@gmail.com. Keep writing to me. I'd love to hear from you. And I answer, as those of you who've written, I answer every email. Okay. So you might be thinking, well, now that we had that great pitch on Nicaragua from Leslie, who obviously loves living there, just as everybody else I've ever talked to who lives there, whether they're expats or natives. Okay, it's a great country to live in, folks. I would put Uruguay thirdNumber 1 in all of Latin America, Nicaragua #2. There we go. Maybe Nicaragua in some ways 1 because it's a lot cheaper. Okay, it's about a quarter of what it costs to live in the U.S. First class. The Uruguay is probably about a third. So always keep that in mind. Keep the cost in mind all the time. Okay. You have Social Security, $2,000 a month. You can live like a king or queen in Nicaragua. All right. But we're not going to in our Coffee with Carib Carter $1,000 listing Caribbean. We're not going to go to Nicaragua right now. Okay. You may be thinking, all right, if it's so good, show us a nice property we can get there. As you know, every week, $1,000 listing Caribbean, I show you a property with an incredible price on it that I would strongly suggest you check out to invest in or live in. Maybe live in full time, maybe it's a vacation home, second home, rent it out. Nowadays, more and more people are looking to rent down there. Remember the Zogby poll, 24 million Americans are now looking to move or at least invest offshore. Okay. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. But we're not going to look at a home in Nicaragua. We are going to look at a home in Mexico. Can you believe that? I found that. Believe it or not, I found this at a yard sale in Dallastown, Pennsylvania. I don't know why they had it. Who knows? Who knows? All right. So, there we go. My own sombrero. My wife was from Honduras. Couldn't stop laughing when she saw it. But we're going to Mexico. We're going to go do Vivian again, okay? Vivian. You all know I love Vivian. VIVIUN.com. Listings of homes all over the world. We always focus on Latin America, Central and South America. But this week, we're looking at this home, okay? You see the little number there? I forgot to send it to Gary. See it right there? All you have to do is go to vivian.com and there's a little white box in the upper right-hand corner. You type in that number. There we go. Thank you, Gary. I should have sent it to you earlier. And click go, and you're going to be at this property, okay? I like this property. I like this property. Beachfront condo for sale in Acapulco, Mexico. Hey, folks, I know if you're like me, you can remember not long ago when Acapulco was the place to be, okay? The rich and famous, I mean, you know, they were all in Acapulco. Not the same anymore, but that opens up opportunity for you. Now, let me do a caveat in a way, but I don't consider it a caveat. The U.S. State Department tells us, oh, the crime, terrible crime in Acapulco. Number one, I am not a person who has a lot of faith in the United States State Department. They get us into all these wars, or always telling us every country is awful. Let's invade. Let's kill everybody. Let's bomb them, blah, 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 blah. Enough. You know, Acapulco's crime went up. They're dealing with it. And I'm going to say something now, okay, that I always want you to be totally informed, okay? When you hear about a lot of crime in a country like Honduras, you know, I have 2 homes. They say, oh, it's a crime. Here's what to keep in mind. It's not, you know, it's not pleasant, but it's true. The crime is very rarely against gringos. It just isn't. It just isn't. I know. I've lived in Honduras. I have 2 homes there. The crime is internecine. It just is. And they're working on it. They're going to get it down. They will. El Salvador's cut theirs by 75%. And so Nicaragua has a lower crime rate than the U.S. But Acapulco in particular, as a tourist, you're not the target. The crime is in more on the outskirts. That is where, you know, the drug cartels beat on each other. You know what? Let me give you an example, okay? I was raised in inner city Baltimore, okay? And in my neighborhood, we had 2 gangs. This is, in a way, it's funny, but it's not. We had 2 gangs. We had a big reservoir, and one of the gangs was the Resi Rats, and they hung out at the reservoir. The other gang was called the Arundel Cowboys. Now, brace yourself for this, but it's the honest to God truth. They were called the Arundel Cowboys because they hung out at the Arundel ice cream parlor. Okay. Well, these were tough guys. Make no mistake about it. But we had no crime. To the rest of us who lived there, they would beat on each other occasionally. Okay. You know, it was before the days when they used to shoot each other all the time, like the people in inner city Baltimore do now. But that's the way it was. It didn't affect me, because I wasn't a Arundel Cowboy or a Resi Rat, even though my dad's church was across from the reservoir. So that's what you're looking at when you these countries. I want to give a preface to that, because, you know, you're going to get these, oh my God, don't go there. Oh my God, please stop. Just stop. Somebody needs to tell the State Department, why don't you turn your attention to Chicago, to Detroit, to Baltimore, to Cleveland, blah, 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 to Portland, to, you know, leave these other places alone. I'm not saying don't worry about it. I'm saying don't worry about it, okay? So let's look at the home. Let's look at the home. Beachfront condo for sale in Acapulco, okay? Oceanfront, mountain view. Also, obviously, ocean view. It's Pacific Ocean. This condo is on the Pacific Ocean. Terraced, fully furnished, appliances, pool, gym, spa, cable TV, internet, well-managed condo complex, 24-hour security, right across the street from golf and tennis. This is very, very nice. It's very, very nice, okay? So 1 bedroom, 1 bath, okay? So for a couple, perfect to live in. Perfect as an investment, because people are still going to Acapulco for vacation. Okay, still going there for vacation. So let's take a look. I'm not going to, you know, usually I show you the big picture of all of Latin America and say, here's the country. Well, you know where Mexico is. By the way, here's a little boat. Here's something you can do that'll give you a little edge of boasting rights here. Mexico is not in Latin America. Mexico is in North America. Did you know that? That's true. Okay, Latin America starts underneath Mexico. So I don't need to show you Mexico, you know, but here is Acapulco. See there? There's Acapulco right on the water. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous beaches. As a matter of fact, Gary, let's show this squib of a overview of Acapulco video, so you'll see how beautiful the beaches are. You're buying it for the beaches. If you buy this place, Be a water lover because you're buying it for the beaches. Let's roll that for it's about a minute, a little minute and a half piece here. Here we go. Okay. Look, I am not a water lover, as some of you know, but I do like the beach. And so that impressed me. I love the sound of the waves. And this condo, you're going to hear the sound of the waves when you're in the condo. Here's the condo. It's beautiful. This is gorgeous. Now, let me say the asking price, okay? They're asking $110,000. I wouldn't pay 110. I'd say 110. I'll give you 90. They say, well, that's not enough. Say, I know this is awful, but I'm just telling you what I would do. I'd say, but you got a crime problem. I'm sorry, folks. You know, you always take your best shot, okay? You got a crime problem. I'll give you 90. So that's what I would offer. So there you go. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous condo. This is a beautiful condo. All right. There's the pools. There's the pools. Here's the another shot of the outside. This is good living, folks. Look at how the grounds are kept there. Oh my God. You walk out there and you're on the beach. A few more steps, you're on the beach. What is the beach like? Well, here's your view. Here's the view from your condo. There's the beach, the one we just saw in the video. Picture you walking down there every day if you want, lounging on the beach. Okay, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Living room. Okay, isn't that nice? Remember, this is fully furnished. This is nicely done, folks. This is a class place. This is a class place. All right, dining room. Look at this. For two people, this is a dream home. This is a dream home. You go to sleep here in the bedroom, and you go to sleep listening to the ocean waves outside that we just heard. Okay? Everything is there for you. Everything is there for you. Okay? There's the kitchen area. I know some people are big on the kitchen. Okay? Very nicely done. This is very nicely done. This is a gorgeous home. This is a gorgeous condo. As I said, I would say, I would say to them, yeah, I'll give you, I'll give you 190,000. Okay, see what they say. If you have to come up 5 or so, I'll do it. What the heck? I'm telling you, here's my prediction. I'm going to give you my prediction. I'm going to give you 2 predictions. One, you're going to love living there. You're going to love living there. And, unless you're somebody who likes to roam the streets at 2 a.m, which I don't, I think you'll feel pretty safe there. Okay. I watch videos when I was researching for it. I watched videos of people walking down the street all the time, shopping, everything. Great shopping area, by the way. Great shopping area. My prediction is you're going to love living there. Okay. My second prediction is within 5 years, you're going to be able to get twice your money if you decide to sell, because they're cleaning up the crime. Acapulco is still a great name in everybody's memory. Acapulco. I think Elvis did a movie there, didn't he? When I was a kid. That's a long time ago. But I think you're going to find the price is going to double. Price is going to just continue to rise. There's more and more. Remember the 24 million? They're looking for somewhere like this. Be there. You own it. If you decide to rent it out, rent it to them or sell it for a big profit. So there you go. There is your $1,000 listing. Caribbean, Mexico. You might even be able to get yourself a sombrero like that. Of course, that would keep the sun off, so I don't think you want that, are you? No, you don't want that. You want the sun. You're moving there for the beach. You want the sun. So there you go. Your $1,000 listing, Caribbean. That brings us to our Carib Carter Motivation Minute. Remember what I told you. It's kind of a negative motivation today because normally Carib Carter is telling you where to make your move to, right? Because I believe with all my heart, this is not just a job to me. This is a labor of love. Everybody that has made the move has written back to me and said, thank you. We love it. Every day I have 4 more people last week said they're choosing Nicaragua or Honduras. So, it's a wonderful thing. And there are 16 countries down there. Almost all of them are fantastic in Latin America. But now for your negative motivation moment, I'm going to show you a video that I posted on social media earlier this week, or end of last week rather. And And it tells you what I call the countries that I'm calling the no-go zone. These are 3 countries. I'm sorry. I don't think that right now you should invest in. Okay. I'm not buying into State Department baloney, but I'm telling you, and what am I telling you? Let's run the video, Gary, and you'll see what I told you all. So everybody on Carib Carter social media minute this past week about 3 countries that are the no-go zone. So let's roll it, Gary. Hi, it's Carib Carter, and normally I tell you about great, wonderful, beautiful, pristine, copacetic places south of the border that I think you ought to consider going. Okay, Nicaragua and Honduras, El Salvador. The best surfing in the world is in El Salvador. The El Zante region, incredible. Guatemala. We even look at properties down there, off-the-grid properties that some of you I know would love. But today I want to tell you about 3 places I don't want you to go. I don't want you to go. Not now. Maybe in a couple of years they'll straighten themselves out. I don't know. But I don't want you to risk going there. I don't want you to risk going there. Not when there's so many other places you can go to and have the time of your life in the sun, sand, and surf. The good life at a great price, as we always say at the Offshore Club. Number 1 is, of course, Venezuela. It's a mess. Ever since they brought it on themselves, voted in the Marxist Hugo Chavez years ago. The country has just descended into hell, absolute hell. When you vote in a Marxist or a socialist, bad times are coming. And that country just can't seem to get out of it. They once were a wealthy country, a tremendous oil-producing country. Now Iran's opening up refineries there because they don't have enough money to do their own refineries anymore. So just stay away from them. Margarita Island, off the shore there, you might make a long-term investment there. Yeah, I don't think you'd want to go live there right now, but you might just buy it because it's so cheap now. And just hold on to it because it was once it was a glorious island at one time. If they ever get rid of socialism, Marxism, Maduro gone or as a conversion or something, it could turn around. So you might think of that, but no, don't move there. And definitely don't invest on the mainland. Colombia. Colombia had such hope for and seemed to be doing real well, cleaned up the drug cartels and was beginning to prosper, and then they just elected a socialist president. Now, how you can be right next to Venezuela, for God's sake, and see what the socialists have done there and think, well, why don't we try that? That's beyond me, but they did it. So right now, don't put your money there. Don't think of moving there at this point. Let's see what the socialist elect does. Maybe he'll allow free enterprise, or at least a mixed economy, in which case we'll take another hard look at it and start considering there. And the third is Argentina. When a country has 100% inflation rate year over year, that's not a place you want to go. I mean, it's still cheaper cost of living than here, but and if we keep up the policies here, we may equal that at some point. Hopefully, come November 8th, those policies are going to be so refuted that they'll stop them. These policies that have caused this horrifying inflation, destroying our energy, our independence, printing money like, trillions of dollars in bogus dollars printed over a 24-month period. It's got to stop. Got to stop. Hopefully we will. But in Argentina, they're not stopping their inflation, and it just continues to skyrocket. Not a good time to buy there. Not a good time to buy there. And that country's had so many problems for so long, you just start to get discouraged with it, don't you? But so we're holding off. We're holding off. So there's the 3 I want you to stay away from. I'll keep you posted if I see a turnaround. But Colombia, Venezuela, Argentina, we're gonna put the stay away label on them for a while, and then I'll update you. But the rest of Central and South America, I can always tell you, just do it. The good life at a great price, it's there for you. So there you have it. For right now, this doesn't mean forever, but for right now, those 3 countries, I don't think Colombia, Argentina, obviously Venezuela, which is a mess, and has been ever since they made the mistake of putting a socialist in, Hugo Chavez. Socialism is not good. We should not be doing it in the U.S., but I'm sorry, that's out of my control. But those 3 countries, but that's 3 out of 16. So that still leaves you 13 incredible countries where you can dream big and live large, where you can live the good life at a great price, and where you can enjoy year round the sun, sand, and surf. Okay, everything you want, everything you deserve, for a price, $2,000 a month, if you can bring that in, working remotely, or residual income, retirement. You are going to love it, I promise you. So, as we say every week on Coffee with Carib Carter, hey, let's do this thing.